Good afternoon, everybody. I want to welcome you to today's webinar on building agile business processes with Microsoft's Power Platform. My name is Peter Brackesellis. I'll be your host today. I am a business development manager here at PA, responsible for the modern workplace, two of the three clouds that PA represent, Microsoft 365 for modern work and Azure, the cloud storage and security platform. We've been preparing a session today. I think you'll enjoy valuable, actionable insights and experiences we wish to share based on our work with Microsoft's Power Platform. Shortly, I'll also introduce two of my colleagues who will be co-presenting a series of great live demos. But before we get started, there's some housekeeping that I'd like to just draw your attention to. With regards to questions, you can ask a question throughout this session. You should find top right-hand corner on your GoToWebinar display panel a question box, and we have a team behind the scenes that will be monitoring that during this broadcast, and we'll, time permitting, answer as many of those questions at the end as time permits. If we don't, we will provide answers in the post-event email for everybody. We're also recording this session, so we will be also providing a link in the post-event email as well. So let's get started. Today's topics, firstly, I will cover what is Power Platform, what are the market forces we observe are driving its rapid adoption by customers, give you some insight to the what is it, the elements, and why is it so popular, and also what the industry analysts rated. Secondly, there's and the main part of this broadcast is some demo segments from two of my colleagues, Ashish Paddy and Josh Toomey, who are experts within our pool of consultants that have done extensive work with Power Platform. Thirdly, I'll come back after that segment, which is the bulk of our session today, with just three inspiring client success stories we've got that all different use cases, all different business problems that have been solved with Power Platform. And finally, in the wrap, we'll share some next steps for you for your consideration, and a couple of unique offers for everybody that has joined us. Also, before we get started, a quick poll just to get insight into where each of you are in your experience and journey with Power Platform. So shortly you'll see in your screen our question. Okay, I'll close that. We'll close that off shortly in a few seconds. We've got quite a few questions coming through. All right, so now you can see that quite even. There's the middle question that quite a lot of you have considered, but not yet using it in any significant scale. And it looks like it's even 28% using it now, 28% haven't used it yet. So there's going to be something in it for all of you today. And I'm confident that our timing and our content will address each of those results. So thank you for participating and giving us that. Okay. I want to spend a few minutes now setting the stage for our program by providing kind of a high-level overview of Power Platform, what it encompasses, what problems does it solve, in application development for customers, and what are the market forces that are driving this uptake of its adoption and making it a clear market leader, and obviously motivating companies like us to invest in tooling up and providing solutions for customers. This research, there's some statistics here that clearly highlight three major issues that are impacting our clients, both the business side of our clients and IT. And this research is done by Forrester. It's Q1 2020 digital process automation for process improvement efforts 2 years from now. And also the stats are an average of also Dresner Advisory Services 2019. You'll see three clear trends. Maybe you can relate to one or more of these, and maybe you can position yourself in one of these. Application development backlog. Customers are reporting almost 65%, 2 in 3, are reporting an application development backlog. And some of these backlogs can be 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, where the demand on the IT to deliver applications is still not being met by capable supply. So that's a big challenge. The second challenge is quite a lot, and this surprised me, 37%, 1 in 3, still depend on paper processes to manage, core business processes. So paper being moved from person to person, office to office, is still constraining the rate of innovation in today's digital economy, and constraining people, organizations, whether it's for-profit or non-for-profit, to be digital businesses. And the third trend the survey brings out, and we see this with a lot of our small to medium clients, technical skill shortages. 67% of CIOs and tech leaders, and we have quite a few of those in our audience today, still see IT skill shortage preventing them from keeping up with the pace of change in today's economic business climate. And that means, again, the supply-demand equation is just not being met. Access to skills and modern skills, relevant skills, not just skills that may have been relevant 5, 10, 15 years ago. So that's a massive problem today, needing solutions. So those three are the key pillars that we're hopefully going to address today, and how Power Platform is a tool set and a platform that addresses these. So I like to think of Microsoft Platform, Power Platform is a lightweight piece of software designed to, what we like to call here at PA, aid rapid application construction. It's designed to solve application needs without the full weight of what I have, 3 decades in the industry, industrial-like software, and all that heaviness and process and governance that demands it. It's a form of, I always say to some of our consultants, do-it-yourself apps development, similar to when you go down to Bunnings and you want to do it yourself project. You don't need the same tool sets that a tradie or a professional tradesman or tradesperson would need. So Power Platform consists of a suite of applications. It consists of 4 key elements: apps dev through Power App, process automation through Power Automate, business analytics and reporting across your data estate through Power BI, and PVA, which not a lot of awareness around. Power Virtual Agents is Microsoft's solution to bots, or creating and generating bot-like solutions that are enabled by Microsoft AI technology, really to amplify your human intelligence with the artificial intelligence, and it can go across Office 365, cloud solutions, Dynamics 365, the complete set, mobile apps, web apps, standalone apps. So the platform, Power Platform, is 4 key elements. It's like an orchestra, and the secret is to turn it into a symphony, and making sure that each of those components can access data, part of your data estate, through data connectors, third-party connectors, the AI builder, or the common data service. In the industry today, Power Platform sits in a category called no-code, low-code. So no-code is obviously very, you probably have read a lot around low-code, no-code, empowering a term called the citizen application developer. My analogy is a do-it-yourself home improvement citizen. It is a major step to providing scale out to address this application backlog in organizations. Again, I say we've got quite a lot of non-for-profits in our audience and for-profit organizations at scale, because the traditional way just won't eat into that backlog quickly enough. So it also, no-code, low-code solutions, we are talking about Power Platform today, really speed up the affordable process automation. Enables also to the professional tradesman. In our terms, it's the application development team within an organization, or an external service provider that just specializes in building applications. Professional, commercial, they do that for a living. And that takes a lot more stringent governance, diligence, and the DevOps lifecycle. It also enables agility, creativity, and innovation by being able to unlock that and providing and leveraging AI power. So, I see a lot of business being constrained. Now you can do it yourself with a no-code option, but also go out. And one client recently, when I was speaking to the CEO, goes, Pete, for no-code solutions, we do it in-house. But for low-code, when it's more complex, when there's more risk in the business, we go outside and get a professional. So that was just a few days ago. I was speaking to the CEO around Power Platform and how they can unlock and make an impact on their application. The industry analysts endorse Microsoft and Power Platform. You'll notice the Gartner Magic Quadrant. It's out there in strength of vision and ability to execute. Microsoft is a leader. So what that means for customers and our clients, it future-proofs you. It reduces the risk that you're not going to invest in something that will go away. So it reduces customer risk. It also allows organizations like us to tool up and invest in tooling up and getting our consulting team around it. And that's what we've been doing for the last couple of years. Forrester, similar report, they call it the Forrester Wave, low code. Microsoft is out there at the top right-hand corner, again, in a leadership position. Today, and as I wrap my session, we're introducing a flavor of Power Platform in a box. And it's a set of solution accelerators with the professional advantages flavor, which allows us to take each of those 4 elements and kind of orchestrate them in a way that produces quick, rapid, high quality solutions, either low code or no code. And that is underpinned by a strong Microsoft governance and security framework. So that's, and I'll be coming back at the end with a special offer around this, but this really underpins what we're going to show you in the next few minutes. So a quick recap. We've talked about Power Platform, low code, no code productivity tool set, and a platform. It is designed for what is termed do it yourself, the citizen developer plus the pro. Rapid development, rapid automation and transformation business processes, leveraging AI across your data sets at scale, generate actionable insights with visualizations through the Power BI. So now we'll show you what it can do for you. And let me invite my co-presenter and one of our talented consultants, Joshua Toomey, to showcase Power Platform, in action. So Josh, I'll hand it over to you.
Thanks, Peter, and hello everyone on the call. So you should be able to see my screen right now. And what I want to talk about today is 2 Power Apps. One of the ones which you're seeing currently is the onboarding tasks Power App. So what this aims to achieve is not so much around the paper-based process automation, but more so automating the menial tasks that an organization might have to undertake when onboarding a new employee. The other Power App I'm going to also talk about today is an expense Power App. So while these apps are simple and can be seen as quick wins, so quick to implement, quick to train, and quick to use, larger organizations may not see the benefits of these ones, but once my other colleague Ashish comes on the call, you'll have something to get us excited about. So I'll just click through this screen here and get this started. So the current view that you're actually looking at is sort of like a web application view of this Power App. So Power Apps come in 2 different forms. They come in a desktop orientated view, which is best suited to a tablet or a laptop, or if you're just viewing it on a desktop. And you also have mobile orientated Power Apps as well. And those mobile apps are generally used for frontline workers. So just as an example, you could have a subcontractor who's entering information into this Power App, and it would feed back through to another system. All right, so just on this onboarding Power App right now, you can see I have a screen, and this view that we're currently looking at is based on a user's perspective. So this user's just joined my organization. It says, hello, welcome to the team, Joshua Toomey, and all you'll have to do is click Get Started. So the first thing you'll see, if I join this new company now, Fabricam Inc., I'm presented with a to-do list. So an administrator of this Power App can set predefined tasks for new starters to actually complete and add hyperlinks to relevant information within their team. So all of this is managed by the Power App. And it just links and integrates to other systems as well. Okay, I can set up my profile. I can write an about me email, and I can also add additional information to what's called a Delve profile, which will be available for the whole organization to see. So it's really quick to get set up and get started with actually using the Power App. As you can see here, it's pretty self-intuitive. If I wanted to mark a task off, all I have to do is click a task and click mark as complete, and that'll complete the task and update the progress bar. If I had any of the links here and I clicked on one, it would take me to a relevant link within my organization, or whatever the admin set up for that given team. Okay, I can flick through to my team now, and what this hooks into is your Office 365 information, so all your user profiles. It gives you sort of a hierarchical sort of view where I can see my manager, and I can also see any of my peers that work with me as well, and who also works closely with those with that peer. So what this gives the user joining is an easy transition into where the information is that I need to see, because one of the main problems with onboarding a new user to a company is, where do I find the information and who do I speak to? Okay, there's just an additional tab here. So it's just showing dummy data at the moment, but all of this information can be easily configured and pushed out based on your company's requirements. So fairly simple and straightforward. And this was the example of the desktop sort of view of a Power App, where it's more like a web application. All right, I'm just going to switch screens here. And this would be an example of a mobile Power App. You can see by the screen orientation, it's a bit narrower. So how you interface with this, you can still interface with it on a desktop or a tablet, but you can also download Power Apps on your mobile phone. And if this app's been shared to you, you can just open on your mobile phone like anything else you would use on your phone. Okay, so this expense app, if you have something like ADP, but you don't want to go through the full route of deploying that in your organization, you could have an idea of creating an expense app, which we can just easily put up in a couple of days using the Power Platform. So if I could just click through these tabs here, I can see my open, pending, and approved expenses. I can click on the plus button and add a new report. I'll just do one for today. Okay. All right. So if you're familiar with ADP and have ever created an expense report before, this information should be familiar. So I've just created a report there. I can add comments if I wish. And what happens now is I can start adding line items. And once I push this off for approval, an email will be sent to that approver I've selected in the previous screen. So we can really see the depth, the depth of this, of what the Power Platform provides. And now I'll just hand off to Ashish, who will be speaking a little bit more on the complex Power Apps.
Thanks very much, Josh, for showing those quick examples and quick scenarios that we can build in Power Apps quite easily, quite soon. There are some quick turnarounds that you could take from day one. Now, what I'm going to talk about today is actually more of integrating those solutions into some real business applications, something we have been doing for a lot of our clients across all our businesses and the experiences that we have built. We have actually taken that to the next level. We have started building it like in a form of a solution go to use model, where you have a pre-built solution that you can just start with. We can actually go and configure it for you very easily. And we have been working on this, as we call it, as solution accelerators. Now, before I go talking about more of the more the long-term ones, let's start with something that is of real right now, of prominent use right away. So we have all been pinned down by this COVID situation, where people have been working from home, and the situation is becoming better. That's the good news, and people have been becoming more and more open, they can go back to office. But the government has put certain rules and regulations on us. So we have to make sure that proper amount of people are coming in. They are not actually exposing risks to the other businesses and other people they are working with. So there is this concept of return to workplace app that we have built, and we have started with Microsoft Consult and built on top of it, where it allows you to control the influx of people coming into the office and make sure that they are all safe. They don't have any health problems that they are coming up with, and they are making sure that when they are coming in, they follow the proper process. So, and again, that also lures to the one critical thing is, the fines and the penalties that you might have to pay if you are not looking at it. So I was just looking it up the day before, and it's like 55,000 for businesses. It's quite a lot of money, right? So this app will help you to track that, creates a audit trail for you that you can track on. So just look at the app. The first thing is the user can come in, they will automatically get identified. They will get an option to create a day pass, or they can click and check the status. So if they click on the get the day pass, what will happen is actually it will go and detect, for example, which location they are in. And I'm waiting for the screen to load on your end. But as the screen loads, you will see that there is an office location that will automatically pre-fill from your Office 365 details. So it will show you where you are coming from. You don't have to go and search for it. And once you are in that location, you can actually go and see all the offices that you are working on. Now it's obviously very slow on my end, so sorry for that. But as you can see that office location that you are in, and you can save the locations and pin your location that you are working with. Now what we will do is we will select a location and we'll book a space. We have to select a facility. So I have selected that facility. And again, it's not showing up, but what is happening is it's actually selecting a facility from a list of facilities that I have, and we configure that for you based on your offices and your flows and everything. And once you have clicked on that and you have booked a space, it will actually go and kind of give you that area details that that user can select. Now, again, it's not refreshing quite fast this time. So I had to just talk through it, and I will show you the end result. So you guys can see the thing coming up where you have the facility details, and then in short time you will see the areas. Now the key thing to see here is that the phases that you can control your facility on. So you can control that some facilities are completely open, some facilities are not open at all. So you can actually go and set those settings on. So some of your are allowing some facilities to be open so people can come in, and the availability for it. So you can say this many people can come in, and they can just actually go and register for that location. Once it gets filled, nobody else can register for that day at least. Now in the next screen, as it pops up, you will see a calendar which will show you the date that you can select on, and then the time period that your users can come in, and it will actually allow them to, you will control the influx. And once you have gone and selected a day and your time that you will be working on, and it's going to take some time, I suppose, you will be able to go through a little bit of a terms and conditions where you can actually see what they need to comply on. And then they can go to a health check, which will tell them that, hey, you're not suffering from any fevers, you have been well for last 14 days, you're not gone abroad. And then, so now we are seeing the terms and conditions. And next one, you will see, this is the health check that will happen on your end, where you will see that, hey, these people, they're making sure that who are coming in are safe. They are not actually having anything on their health. And then basically they are, joining the company and then doing the proper processes. So once you have done that, actually it will give you a pass, and it will also put a message out in the teams. If, for example, you are working with set of people and you would like to know, right, how many people are coming in on that day, so you can gather together, work together, or talk to each other, and that kind of interaction can happen through Teams. And then also it will send it will put a calendar alert on your calendar that will allow you to actually remind you that, hey, you are going on this day, so please go ahead and keeps you an alert, basically. Cool. So obviously my screen is still slightly slow, so we'll just wait for the flow to complete. You are seeing the team screen now, where your message has been put out for the team to let them know that they are coming in on this date, and then they will see the Outlook popping up in a while, where you'll see a calendar invite that has been set onto calendar. So this app actually connects to multiple different solutions that will allow you to, or tools or office applications that will allow you to streamline the process. The next one we will see is going to be something of real purpose and use on your day-to-day life. Now, the return to COVID app is obviously is of useful now, and then you could start thinking about it and bring it into your business as soon as possible, so that you are not becoming non-compliant in that sense. Now, talking about the next one is more of a business use that happens on a day in, day out. Now, I'll start talking about it while my screen is refreshing. It has been really bad. I cannot say much about my network today. So you'll see that there is a need of invoices that are coming in. Now, the businesses who have gone with the effort of setting up Dynamics 365, Business Central, or any such tools, you already have a process that you're working with. But let's say you have not invested in that, you are not planning to do it. What is the way of you tracking those invoices smartly without spending too much effort? If you're doing it, then I would say this is a great tool for you, where you can go and quickly spin up something in the 5-day period or something like that, and you can set up a process that will allow you to actually scan invoices very fast. There is some smart technology involved in this, which will actually scan the files itself. And now it has popped up, so you guys can see the invoice tracker dashboard. This is an app, this is a Power App that we have built, allowing to facilitate the tracking on invoices very easily, smartly, and in a quicker fashion. So what you see on the screen is basically a few of those sections where you can see all the invoices, total balance due, what has been paid, what is in progress, the attached receipts that were brought in, the pending invoices, and you can left side you can see all the invoices that are in progress. So we'll go and create a new invoice. So what we will do, and this is the fascinating part of it. Again, it will take some time for the screen to load. So we'll just wait for that to happen. But what's happening on the back end is actually I have gone ahead and I've selected a PDF file which will actually get uploaded into the system. I'm not doing anything, I'm just uploading a PDF file. And the system has been trained and is knowledgeable to actually decipher those sections on the invoice and find out who the bill is from, who it has been billed to, the invoice number, the date of the invoice, the balance due, and to one part, and I don't know how many of those tools out there do it, actually reads the rows. It can actually read the line items in your invoice and kind of reconcile them automatically instead of you spending that effort and doing that within your team or yourself. So we'll just pop up for the screen to come in, and I'll just point out those points that I just mentioned about the file. I would have loved to show you that in, like I'm doing it on the screen, but I suppose it will just land up on the screen, which has done that already in a while. Yeah, but actually, why is that happening? I'll just talk you through the process. The screen will have one section which will show all the elements of the invoices, and the other screen will show the file that you have uploaded. And you can actually go and click a button called button save, and that will actually post the data into a SharePoint list. So okay, so this has popped up on your end, where you can see on the right hand side the PDF file that we are working on. So that has been uploaded into the system. I've actually clicked a button on the bottom and uploaded by getting the file from a local desktop or local laptop, and then it has gone and scanned it and pulled the left hand section with those details that have got for that file. So the next thing is, once I click save, it will go and save the data into the SharePoint list. So the SharePoint is what we are using in the backend now to save all that data. And once the data is saved, it actually goes and updates the dashboard automatically. On the next screen, you will actually see those row items also that have been seen on the right side. And those row items will have all the detail level items, and that's all also saved on the SharePoint list. And when it is saved on the SharePoint list, it actually shows up in a dashboard in the SharePoint side also, so you can actually go and look at all the details, even though they are segregated into different locations in one go. So I'll just wait for that to pop up. Sorry for all this slowness has had happened on the demo day. But yes, so as this thing will happen, you'll see that the invoice section will come in and it will show those row items, and I'll click on a button. It will send the data into the backend. it will create new rows, and you will see the dashboard on SharePoint. Now, the reason of having a dashboard on SharePoint on an app is that the app could be useful for people who are looking on a phone and desktop, as Josh mentioned. The SharePoint one could be something you can post it on the internet. So now you are seeing the desktop, the SharePoint one-page dashboard, so you can integrate into a web page or a Teams tab, and then that will allow you to show everything at once. So now this is an app, right? So you will say like, okay, I'm getting thousands of those invoices every time. Am I going to do for each of those files? And that may be a big ask if you're doing for each file. So what we'll do is we actually have a automation process on the backend, which will allow you to actually attach a file and send it. So I'm going to go through that flow as I'm talking through it, and we will just follow through as it comes on our screen. So I will be sending a mail to myself, like my dummy user, and I will be pointing that it is an invoice from Iris Pub, and you guys will see that coming up soon. And I will be sending that email through, and I will be getting that email, and the system automation on the backend will pick that email, read that PDF file, and it could be in any number of PDF files, right? It could be 4 or 5 or 6. It will grow and process them, and it will get the data out, put it into the SharePoint list, put it into the right locations, and it is using the smart technology as AI to do that, to read the file, get all the details out of it, and then it sends you an email saying that the file has been uploaded and a link to the basically the dashboard or the location that you want, and you can just click on that location and open up the dashboard directly to see that file. You don't have to do anything. You're just getting emails as usual, or your finance team or support team is getting emails as usual. The automation just runs on the backend, takes the file out, uploads it to a SharePoint location, or your Business Central or Dynamics. We can integrate with all of them, and then you are just seeing all the dashboard at once. Think about the amount of hours it will save for you. Instead of you spending that time reconciling. We just did a estimate for a client which does about 2,000 invoices in a month, and it will save them a lot of money because that amount of manpower that they spend will actually be more focused on the work and the part of what they are supposed to do, instead of just taking a file, reading it, entering the data into the Dynamics 365 Business Central systems. So this is another use you saw where you have a practical usage where you are thinking of invoices coming in. You want to process those invoices. You don't want to waste that effort of people looking at it. It's fine, still they can look at it, but at least that manual entry part is actually taken away. The system can do it for you. It can actually post the data wherever. Now, talking about that scenario, it obviously gives us an app feel, and you are actually working in a scenario, in a problem. We have few other scenarios, like as Josh said, so employee onboarding, that there is the expense tracker, which is similar like invoice tracker. Then we have the people organized in chart kind of solution that will help you to find people information very easily. And then finally, out of all, we have a website. We call it as the member portal. Now, the member portal, what is the concept behind member portal is, so supposedly, for example, we are doing this campaign, we are doing solution accelerators. We want people to come and register for it and actually start using it in a purpose that they don't have to talk to us always, and they can actually get the information that they're looking for. Also exposing the details that are useful for them to use it. We don't want to go to heavy licensing. We don't want to worry about a lot of management on that end. We just want to quickly go ahead and set up a power portal or a member portal which allows people to come in, interact with our services, check what they are looking for very easily, and then you make use of it. So now, as you guys can see, it has popped up on your screen is a member portal which shows you all the items of users. This is obviously a user who is not registered. So this is the view of all the solutions and the items that you can do. So you can click on know more products. It will give you more about the product details. It's not refreshing on your end, but I will be just quickly showing that, and then when it refreshes, you will see those screens popping up. So you can do news and promotions. So as you guys will look through, it actually gives you a quick and easy feel, which is quick to build. You don't have to pay a lot of coding just for the subscription service for Power Apps portal. and it allows you to create that ease of user experience without heavily investing on it. And the next part is once you have done that, you can actually go and help your users come in to the register screen. And when they register, the system automatically knows that they are a part of the team, and that will show them the relevant information for them. So on the landing screen, then you will see what they are working on and the services they can use. And also we can integrate that with Power BI. So we can bring data from Power BI and show it on a member portal with all the statistics that are happening with them, any kind of information. We can also integrate with other applications which you want to bring the data from. And also we can have form-based inputs from them. We can actually show them more data from SharePoint. So all your data is now exposed without actually exposing your environment or creating risk around your environment. So those are some of the key benefits of using this. And the member portal allows you to do that. So we have talked through 3 different scenarios today at the solution accelerators. One is return to COVID app, which you can start thinking about right away, I suppose, to get your workplace safe. Then second one is the sales invoice tracker, which will allow you to benefit by saving amount of time from people overhead and having apps display your dashboard and invoices at once. And then there is the member portal that allows you to integrate all the membership information at one location, or similar purposes of what you're thinking about, exposing your internal resources externally without creating risk around it, and not spending too much time hosting or paying for it. So this is all, and you guys have seen the screen that I wanted to show, but obviously it's really slow. So this is all I wanted to show today, and I will hand it over now to Peter to talk to the other examples.
Thanks, Ashish. That was great. And now we just to wrap, both Joshua and Ashish has really given us some insight to the employee onboarding, the expense tracking, the return to workplace, the data recognizer solution, invoices, purchase orders, and the membership community portal. So that is a set of jumpstart or fast track applications. Now I wanted to highlight, and we'll come back to that as part of our special offer towards the end. I want to highlight 3 clients that present an inspiring set of innovation using Power Platform. Modernizing, the first one I wanted to highlight and spend a few moments is where one client is a non-for-profit. We helped modernize a legacy workforce management team scheduling application in only 4 days using Microsoft Power Platform. It comprised, as Ashish has highlighted, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power BI, combined with SharePoint Online Services. And this particular solution replaced some custom-coded integration modules. And initially, there was a potential upgrade that this client was looking at, expensive, as well, both from a software upgrade point of view and the infrastructure to support it, plus the work needed. It was almost quoted at about 10 days. So what we did, ideated it, and then we delivered a low-code solution in 4 days that could be embedded anywhere, including a Microsoft Teams tab. It meant the client could decommission 3 of their servers, which was running and hosting those custom-coded modules, which saved infrastructure ownership and operating costs, and also the dev cost, 60% less time. And very well received by the target user community, great adoption, great engagement. So there's one example of low-code in action in 4 days. Second one is a client, another non-profit in the health sector, where we helped improve a recruitment process, its turnaround, by 70% using Power Platform. Their previous process was highly manual, paper-based. From raising the request to recruit to getting it approved, took an average of 3 weeks to get to the final approver, which just happened to be the CEO. And it went through a number of hands and even a number of offices. We ideated that and looked at digitizing that form, and it improved the turnaround time to less than 1 week. That was amazing for the organization. It delivered immediate business benefits, First of all, by making the form digital, it ensured less risk of errors and rework, accuracy, the security. Some of this information was obviously confidential. And obviously positive environmental impact, which is aligned with their corporate social responsibility and environmental policy, because there's less papers flowing around. So that low-code solution, again, constructed in 5 days. The third one is about a client that we've helped empower their employees to achieve more but not doing more. And that was simplifying and streamlining an administrative task using Power Platform. Here, they had a highly manual process of PDF document approvals, and it took 3 people's approvals that were mandatory for each PDF. So originally they used Outlook email as their coordination platform, but we ideated and used Power App with SharePoint Online lists. And they process about 5,000 PDF docs monthly in a batch. So what Power App did was able to handle that validation and notifying those 3 approvers about which docs still needed checking and which docs are at what level of approval. So their actual checks and approvals in email reduced to 0. They didn't have to email each other and all this stuff. So that was also achieved in a low-code development timeframe of 5 days. So that was another non-for-profit, the Smith family. So that that hopefully gives you some idea, and maybe you have similar projects in mind. So what next as you leave us today? We have some special offers. First of all, Power App comes in 2 flavors, one with Office 365, as well as part of the platform Power App, the full premium product. Power App with Office 365 really comes for free with both enterprise and business subscription plans, and it allows you to customize and extend Office 365 productivity scenarios similar to what you've seen. Power App, the full product, is really one that can drive full application development. As you say, orchestrate all the apps. It comes in a per app plan and a per user plan. I've got some prices there, $14 US Australian per user per app per month, or 55. We can help you determine what's the right thing for your project. Some scenarios, one recently, if there's a small number of users using a particular app, the per app model will probably be most cost effective. If it's a particular app with lots of users, everybody's going to use it, probably the per app model may be better. So there's different things. There's a concept called app stacking. So there's different models befitting, but we can advise on that. The wrap on those 5 that you've seen today is not the only 5 that the solution accelerators can address. What we can do for you is work with you in either putting these particular solution accelerators into production with a little bit of tailoring and curation for your specific project, or we can look at how we can, orchestrate into a symphony, as I said before, each of those elements, Power App, Power Automate, Power BI, Power PVA, into a solution that makes sense for your particular use case. So this is just our first release of the accelerator. There'll be more coming. And again, it's not just limited to these 5 particular scenarios that we've showcased today. So in closing, we would like you to complete the survey. In the survey, you'll see that you can sign up for a couple of offers today, special offers. One is Power Platform in a Box, a 5-day engagement that allows us to, if you've got some immediate project that could benefit from that particular offer, we would like to work with you and schedule that particular engagement. So please sign up for that. We have a very special commercial offer for that particular piece of work. Or if you haven't quite got a particular project in mind, but you'd like to have a further conversation with us to ideate or to look at understanding more about Power App for Office 365, what can you get out of the box, or Power App across Dynamics or Office, and web app and mobile apps, well then you may want to sign up for our 2-hour complimentary think tank brainstorming consultation, and we can ideate and shape an engagement for you there using some of the solution accelerator pieces. Got some contact details there for you to come back to us if you wish, phone, email, and website. Again, hopefully this gives you a result from your time today. If you wish, this brings us to a formal close. I don't think we had any questions come up, but if you do, you know how to contact us. You will get an email following up with a copy of the recording. So from all of us here at PA, we appreciate you joining us. We look forward to seeing you again very shortly, and we wish you a very good afternoon.